Hello everyone, and welcome back to Isaac Reviews 2020. Before we get the show on the road, I want to make a quick little statement. I no longer think that the Sonic movie is a bad movie. Sure, it's not good, it has flaws, but maybe I was a little too harsh on the movie, so I'd probably move it up to like a 5 out of 10 now. So, anyways, I was supposed to watch Trolls World Tour with my movie-holic friends, but my schedule just wouldn't allow it, so I had to watch it on my own time. So, anyways, what did I think of it exactly? Well, we'll get to that, but for now, I wanted to point out that I actually saw it on my computer with Amazon Prime because, well, in case you've been living under a rock and you have no internet or anything like that, then you know that everything's been delayed for COVID-19. But you wouldn't know that if you're my good old friend Luigi Marinus. Ah yes, our pitiful, naive soul Luigi Marinus. Because if you don't know, on Twitter, he always just is hammering in that he wants his Minions movie this year and not next year. Because, well, he has the intelligence of, like, a potato. So, obviously, he's thinking, oh, well, it said it's coming out this year, so I believe it comes out this year. COVID-19 isn't even real. Someone made it to scare people. And he has some very good methods of saying that, and also just good methods in general of just roasting my group, the Movie-holics, in case you're wondering what they were called. In fact, he's so irritating that I even made 2 drawings about his stupidity on my iPad, and I posted those on Twitter and Instagram Cracker. So, yeah, both of those are linked in the description, my, Instagram and Twitter. So, follow me on there and check these drawings out in the meantime. But, in case you're wondering anything else about our good old friend Luigi Marinus, well, he's a completely different video topic. I just want to get this out because, well, the movie just came out. So, now we can finally get to my thoughts on the movie. It was terrible. Okay, so what were my thoughts on the first movie? Honestly, I thought it was complete garbage. Sure, it had some decent animation, but that can't hide the film's generic story, the cringy attempts at being modern and hip, the unlikable characters, and the hypocritical message on being happy, despite how the movie's happy tone makes the characters feel like jerks. And it's so bad, it even managed to get on my worst animated films of the 2010s decade list at number 8. But, surprisingly enough, this movie does have a decent following. Like, it sports a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it does have a decent fan base of creepy teenagers that like making fanfics and DeviantArt drawings of Poppy and Branch making out. But, anyways, when this movie was first announced, I was devastated to know how DreamWorks was making something so bad-looking for the purpose of making a quick buck from dumb kids. But then the movie came out, and because of the whole coronavirus thing going on, as I mentioned, I saw it on Amazon Prime, and honestly, I wish it was one of those movies that got delayed. Like, I really, really do. So, what's the movie about? Well, it states that in the beginning there were 6 ancient strings that were all united in harmony and stuff. But everyone got greedy and took theirs and left. So, yeah. Then, Queen Barb comes along and she's all like, I want to destroy music except for rock. So, she goes around trying to steal everyone's string, and Poppy and Branch need to go against her, stop her, and harmonize all music again. So, it's basically Infinity War, but no one dies at the end, while everything else stays blatantly obvious because it just can't think up of any original ideas and just copies superior films just to make some money off of kids with the faintest idea of what quality is. But, hey, this is Trolls World frickin' Tour, so I'm not really expecting Pixar quality here, but I at least want some quality. Oh, that's right, the animation. Yeah, I won't go without saying that the animation is absolutely beautiful. The first one did have some good animation, but most of the time it's either the decent-looking troll village or the dull and gloomy Bergen village Poppy and Branch go to that takes up a good chunk of the film. Here, though, we get tons more depth to the animation with some great effects and character movements, on top of some really cool-looking scenes with 2D animation. Plus, the new character designs on the new characters are interesting, with how the movie goes with more music than just pop, with country, digital, classic, funk, jazz, K-pop, reggae, and rock. And the worlds the characters go to are a visual treat, being vibrant, colorful, and extremely immersive. So, the animation is great. But as the old saying goes, good writing can save bad animation, but good animation can never save bad writing. And not only is this story written poorly, but the characters are too. For the oldies, Branch is now the typical guy too nervous to confess to his crush stereotype. Poppy is a selfish idiot that gives the movie a shockingly mean-spirited tone. Biggie and Cooper are just there because why not, and they don't have that much screen time. And for the new ones, Delta is the typical bigoted southerner who thinks everything should be the same. Hickory is what barely classifies as a twist villain because he has the personality of a chair. The other leaders of their music genre, like Cooper's parents, Trollzart, and King Trollex, get extremely little screen time and only exist to flex the celebrity voice actors this movie dragged in. And the villain, Queen Barb, does have some interesting motives, but she has little time to really show off her evil nature, except for a few scenes here and there, and the incredibly underwhelming climax. And by that point, the trolls just recite the same message as the first film, but they replace being happy with being true to yourself, which is definitely not a message that every kids movie ever has been doing for what feels like an eternity. Nope, totally original. Okay, we're in the home stretch. I can do this. So, to sum it all up, this movie is really bad. Like, it isn't as bad as the first one, but it still has some awful writing, annoying characters, a blatantly last-minute message, and an overall tone that feels way too similar to Infinity War. So, unless you're a fan of the first movie, then I suggest just either showing this to any little siblings or cousins you have, or just make a wiser decision and just don't watch this movie. The first movie may have been bad, but because of how bitter its tone was, I was able to remember it more fondly. Here, though, it's not like bitter to the point where it left a sour taste in my mouth. It's not like bad or anything. Wait, no, it's bad, but it's not as bad as the first. It's just bad to the point where it's just sad. And that's the kind of bad that I can't even excuse without giving the yeah, don't watch it rating. You're probably gonna get mad at me for my rating, but as I say, if you can't handle an opinion, then the internet definitely isn't right for you. Okay, so I finally got my rating done. Join us in the summer where we review Soul. Pixar, you better not screw this one up. It looks really good. Oh, and yeah, I would have done a lot more in May if it weren't for COVID-19, but now my reviews of these movies are going to be way later. Like for Black Widow in November. For Scoob, I'm putting all my bets on a September release because of Warner Brothers release patterns. And for SpongeBob, just about the beginning of August. And yeah, that's so yeah, next up on the theatrical release spectrum, we'll have another Pixar movie. And one that, again, looks really good. And maybe I might get to these ones, but I'm not sure because they're going straight to streaming, and I was probably going to skip out on them to begin with because they look pretty mediocre. Like My Spy looks meh, and Artemis Fowl looks like crap. But anyways, that's all the time I've got because I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS. So stay safe, stay home, and stay away from Luigi Marinus's Twitter account. But that's all the time I've got again. I'm gonna head out now. Thanks for watching and have a great day.